Project Management Insights, providing project managers with professional development in the interpersonal skills areas of leadership, team building, and communication. Hi, welcome to today's episode of Project Management Insights. Today I want to talk about your email inbox. I know it's probably one of those strange things that you think, why on earth is she talking about that? And yet, what I noticed was when I was busy full on into managing my project, it was the one thing, my email inbox was the one thing that would cause a lot of stress day in, day out for me, which is why I thought it's worthwhile talking about it in a podcast episode. So I know what it's like to be in that space where you get in the morning and you have a mountain of new emails in your inbox, and you might arrive at work at 8 a.m. in the morning. Your first meeting is at 8:15 or 8:30, and you have stuff that you need to prepare for the meeting. You have things on your to-do list, items that you need to follow up from yesterday, and you have 80 to 100 emails in your inbox first thing in the morning to be able to respond to. So what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Because as you know, as the day goes on, you're going to end up with more emails in your inbox, and there's going to be more unopened emails during the day and by the end of the day than there are at the start of the day. And that's a task that seems really overwhelming, and it creates a stress response in me in that situation. So here's what I used to do, and I found that it worked quite well for me. The whole aim of messages coming into my inbox is to either provide me with information, it's to provide me with an update or a response to something that I've asked for information on. It might be to resolve an issue, so it might be resolution of an issue, and it might just be general questions or information seeking that's sought by other team members. So the emails tend to fall into these sorts of categories, and then there's the other superfluous stuff that fits in the broader context of the organisation that perhaps those emails aren't directly related to my project. So I've got project-related emails and non-project-related emails, especially if I work in a larger organisation. So what I tended to do was, first of all, cull the emails that weren't related to my project. So anything in my inbox that was not specifically related to my project, I had a quick scan, and then they went in the garbage can, because they're the things that I don't need to take action on. They're things that I would normally be reminded about in other ways. They may or may not have been relevant. If I skim them, I'm going to get enough information that then means I do not need to hold that email in my inbox. Now, if it happens to be an invitation to something that I need to respond to, then what I will do is I will respond to it straight away. And this is another good practice. If I have invitations to meetings or things in my inbox, then straight away I am going to go and accept or decline those invitations, get them out of the inbox, touch them once, respond to them straight away, and then it means again that they're not in my inbox. They're out of my inbox and have gone into my calendar, my diary, and then I know exactly what's going on in terms of my meetings are set up. There's no double booking. All of those things are clear. So handle the emails first that are non-related to your project. Secondly, respond to all of your invitations or meeting invites that you have in your inbox and get those out of the road. So that then leaves the emails that are specifically related to your project. Now, the aim here is to touch these emails only once, if possible, And by that, it's about if the email is a response to a question that I've asked, then I go and note that by if it's resolution of an issue as an example, I will go and update the issue register straight away and then move the email to an issues subfolder that I have so that I can go back to it at any time. Again, if it's a question that's being asked for me, I might put these emails in a to be responded to or work in progress folder and come back to those during the day when I have time during my meetings, or if I have 5 or 10 minutes to be able to kill between going from one meeting to another meeting, or reporting or taking a phone call, or whatever the case may be. But these are things that I can respond to quickly and in short periods of time, and so I will put those in a work in progress folder so that I can come back to those and know that they're actionable. Now, the other things then that are left in my inbox are perhaps material that I need to read. So it might be information that I'm given. So in that instance, can I print it off and take it with me to read during my travel time, as an example? Is it better if I print it all off and then go and lock myself in a meeting room and read it all at once and take my notes and then come back and action that? I found that there were really effective and efficient ways for me to use my time by chunking together the light tasks that I had to do, whether that was reading or providing feedback to someone. As an example, it might have been a business analyst that was working with me on the project. I developed a set of business requirements, and what I did was I would print them off. I would go and find a quiet space. I would sit. I would read through them. I would jot down my feedback, and then I would either have a one-on-one meeting with the person to provide them with my feedback, or I would send that feedback in an email in a very detailed way. Again, it's about how can I be most productive about the use of my time. Hopefully, by the time you've worked through the emails in this particular way, by culling and looking at specifically what it is that you are required to do in response to the email, you will have a flow that allows you then to be very efficient and effective and cull the things out of your inbox to the extent that you no longer have a big stack of emails in your inbox. They are either filed, they are either deleted, or they are in a work in progress folder where you know that you can come back to those because they're short and sharp things that you need to deal with during the day. This then means that you should be able to keep on top of those emails that come into your inbox during the day, rather than having 157 and 250 unanswered emails or unactioned emails in your inbox on any given day. That is not really good outcome for you as a project manager, because you do not understand what you're missing if you have not opened and read and actioned your emails. So make it a priority. And I used to make it a priority first thing in my morning to do this, to go through this process, to be able to deal with. I used to slot an hour into my calendar and be able to take this action in this way, so that then I set my day up for success. And then I would do a check-in at lunchtime, and I would do a check-in at the end of my day, and go through the same process of actioning the emails that had come in this way, using this process. And it then meant that I was always on top of those emails that were coming into my inbox. The other thing that I would do, and I've talked to you before about having a running to-do list, if there was something critical that I needed to do that was related to something in my inbox, I would add the responding to that email on my actionable to-do list, because then it was front and center on my list during the day as I am tracking through the tasks that I had to complete, especially if it was a priority email that I needed to respond to. So I would put it down and put a big one beside it to make sure that I understood it had to take priority. So use some of these tips and tricks in order to manage those emails in your inbox, and you might find that you are less stressed, that you actually take action on those emails in your inbox and become more productive and are on top of things in a different way than you may be now when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed by the number of emails that you get in your inbox. Hopefully this has helped, and I look forward to speaking to you next week for the next episode of Project Management Insights. Thank you for listening to this Project Management Insights podcast. Be sure to visit projectmanagementinsight.com and sign up for our monthly newsletter or to receive updates on upcoming training.